Hello and welcome to News Central TV. I am Kemini Emano, and here are stories making headlines beyond the continent. Let's start off in North America, where former U.S. President Donald Trump has now been formally placed under arrest following his arrival at a Manhattan criminal court. Trump's arrest is coming ahead of his arraignment, where he faces criminal charges that could threaten to upend his 2024 White House race. In the meantime, his lawyer claims he will plead not guilty to these charges. He has been under investigation over hush money paid just before the 2016 election to a porn star who says they had an affair. Extra security measures are in place as authorities expect protests outside the Manhattan court. We are now joined by Global Affairs Analyst Nweke, who resides in Belgium, to help us unpack this latest development. Thank you so much for joining us here, Collins.
My pleasure to be with you. Thank you for having me.
Great. Trump here now is the first former U.S. president, even sitting president, to be arrested on criminal charges. Does this development surprise you in any way?
Well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that it is an abnormality that this is happening in the first place. No, because essentially Trump has shown himself to be a very, very special individual, a very special kind of politician. Right from the very first time that he made his intentions clear to run for the U.S. presidency. He's been a disruptor, and that has also marked his, that also marked his entire presidency to the point that when he left, it became some sort of house cleaning, to clean up, some of the mess that he left behind. And so, I believe that, things haven't come to the point that they have come now, is actually sending a very clear message to everyone, not just in the United States, but beyond. And that is the fact that no one is above the law in every sane society.
Now, we also know that he is to be arraigned on criminal charges related to hash money payments to the porn star Stormy Daniels, payments that were made in 2016. How could this affect his presidential ambition?
Well, there are two things to look out here. Number one is the legal side of things, but also beyond legalities, you also look at essentially the court of public opinion. Now, legally speaking, I am not sure, I'm not a lawyer, but I think lawyers would be in a better position to tell us this. But what I hear analysts left, right, and center say is the fact that as long as he has not been convicted of any criminal offense, he remains eligible to run for the U.S. presidency. Okay? So an indictment is not yet a conviction. And so that keeps him eligible. Now, on the court of the public opinion, it does look like his core support base, they actually remain intact. Intact in the sense that it is still hovering around that 38% of those who feel that despite all of this that have happened, that he remains their man. And tomorrow they will vote him if there is going to be, an election. So
I want to talk about
that's the reality.
I want to talk about this core support base that you mentioned. We know that there have been extra security where he's been held, but I really want us to talk about the support base and how you think they will be processing this, and whether or not there may be protests as security authorities or officials are anticipating.
Well, the extra security that we saw, guiding him on the way to the courthouse, that is to be expected because if we saw what happened on January 6th, when his supporters stormed the parliament, that gives a pre-taste of what might lie ahead. But there are signs that the security operatives of the United States are not taking this lying low. So they are doing everything they have to do to avert mayhem. But will this occasion mayhem? Does it have the propensity or the potential to, unleash mayhem in the United States? Yes, it does, because he has very strong, die-hard, supporters. But whether they will effectively manage, to unleash that mayhem is a different kettle of fish. I doubt it.
Just quickly again to emphasize the question, how do you think that the supporter base will interpret this indictment on the former president?
They will continue to interpret the indictment of the former President Trump as, a witch hunt. And that is because that is exactly the point that, Donald Trump has continued to make to them, that, they are after them, and he happens to be the one fronting for them. So an attack on him, he has framed it, is an attack on his core supporters. So definitely, they are taking this personal.
Until fairly recently, Trump has not taken these, the investigations into his conduct seriously. Now we know the lawyer says they will do all they can to make sure that these charges do not stand in court. But what does it say about the legal process and, the possibility of the former president serving time? What are you looking at?
Well, again, I'm not a lawyer, but the point is that everybody deserves, defense. And so it is not a surprise that there are people who are out to defend him using the same American Constitution. But on the other hand, the public prosecutors, they also have a job here to ensure that the law takes its course. So ultimately, the battleground is going to be, the court of law, and it is only going to be today when he's, officially arraigned that the charges will be read out. Up until now, nobody knows exactly what he's been, indicted for. But there is a legal battle out there to fight out.
We'll see how that plays out in the United States. Thank you so much, Collins, for your time.
My pleasure to be with you. Thank you.